Welcome to another episode. Welcome to the month of February. I am excited to kick off our new mini-series of the month. This mini-series is called Performance versus Permission. Performance versus Permission. And I love diving into this. Now, what you may or may not know is what we've walked through between last month and now stepping in this month is what we call the 4 Ps here at Legend Leaders. The 4 Ps. And the 4 Ps are essentially, it's a process. There are phases that we walk through in our executive career. And it's really important. These are things that we're walking through subconsciously. And my entire purpose here is to call them out and make you aware of the 4 Ps. So then you're in control, right? You can decide how you want to move through the 4 Ps and then how you can just start living your life in a different way, right? Isn't that what it's all about? Don't we show up and create the career that we've defined and we focus on having the success that we want to have because of certain things that we want to do in order to live personally, right? We focus on professional success in order to empower us to have personal freedom. And so that's essentially what the 4 Ps represent. So if you listened to last month, what you heard me talk through was promotion versus preparation, right? That's the first part of the 4 Ps. And if you think about our careers, right, again, our executive careers, we go from promotion to preparation. And preparation is preparing to exec correctly, preparing to be the executive that we want to be, right? Well, once we prepare, then we move into this next phase. And the next phase is what we're talking about all month. We prepare and then we perform, right? And then once we start performing, then we give ourselves permission to live. The entire reason why we work so hard, like I said, is because we want to have that personal freedom. And we don't allow ourselves to have that until we have reached a specific level of personal or professional performance, rather. So that said, I can't wait to dive into this topic with you. Today is all about introducing the topic, helping you understand why it matters, and then giving you an overview of the 4 Ps. So I want to do a couple things. Number one, I want you to go ahead and dive into last month's mini-series if you haven't already, because we're building on it, right? Last month was the first phase of the 4 Ps. This is the second phase. And so what we're going to talk about this entire month, next week we're going to talk about performance. What does performance mean? Right? We have a lot of different definitions for these words that are so common, right? We've talked about performance since we were kids. Maybe you played sports. Maybe you played an instrument. Maybe you just showed up and got good grades in school. There's something that you did throughout your life that defined performance for you. But we're going to look really closely next week at what performance really means, how we can take the word performance and tie it in and maybe it melds with a couple of other words and so we lose the true definition of performance. We're going to come back to that honest, clean, clear definition of performance, which is going to be very powerful. And then the following week, we're going to dive into permission. What does permission mean? Because I know that you're sitting here thinking, Katrina, I don't ask for permission from anybody. What are you talking about? I run my life. I handle this stuff. And I agree with you. You do, but you're still asking for permission. It may not be from the outside world. It's from the inside world. And we're going to dive into that and really understand what permission means and why you must give yourself permission. And then last but not least, we're going to tie it all together. And we're going to understand again how performance leads to permission, what each one means, how they work together, and why it matters for you and why you want to take control, right? We've talked about this the entire time, that we have to create an executive brand. And when we create an executive brand through preparation, that executive brand allows us to perform, right? The brand itself, who we are, how we show up, how we deliver, how we achieve, that is our performance. And then that performance and that brand allows us to live personally. And I cannot wait to walk you through all of these pieces. I know that when I've walked through other women through this, they're like, what? You know, their brain breaks a little bit. And so I'm excited to challenge your thought process. I'm excited to free you from some beliefs that maybe have been holding you back. Because once you have this understanding, you're now empowered to take control of your career and your life at the next level. That's exactly what we want, right? Because we all want to live this life that we've envisioned for ourselves, right? And that's what we're going to walk through this entire month. So I'm excited for you to join me on the following episodes. Please grab the workbook. I put thoughtful questions in there specifically for you to help you understand where you are, to help you call out the learnings that you've had, and then help you create a new pathway, at least mental, if nothing else, a new mental pathway to help you go and apply what you've learned and then move yourself forward in whatever way that you define it, right? This is your life. It's not mine. So you get to define it, but I get to help you walk along that path. So grab the workbook. It's 100% free. It's there to help you as you move through this month with me as a supplemental guide. So grab that. There's some questions in there because I want to know and understand, how do you define performance right now? How do you define permission right now? Let's go ahead and define baseline, what our current definitions are and why they matter. Those questions are in your workbook. So again, get it, get access to it, and I'm going to see you next week as we really dive in and understand what performance truly means. As always, go and be legendary.